it's Leisha from Caught by Design, and I'm here today to show you how to apply heat transfer vinyl, flocked heat transfer vinyl, to a beach towel. I'm using the Craft Pro heat press from Heat Press Nation. One of the things I like the best about it is the slide out drawer, and that allows me to place items on the platen without having to get underneath the hot platen. So the first thing I'm going to do is take the towel and press out any moisture. Doesn't take a lot of pressure, just a little bit of heat, and get all that moisture pressed out in the area that I am going to be applying the heat transfer vinyl to. Once I've got that done, I'm going to fold the towel in half, kind of matching up the hem there. Towels aren't always perfectly square, but if I can get that pretty straight right there, I'm going to press a fold line here, and that'll mark the center of the towel, and it'll help me when I go to place my design. See, it gives a little fold line there. Then you can take your design and fold it in half, kind of crease that carrier sheet, and that gives you a good place to line up your design. Now, the one I'm going to press for you in the video, I've already got the design placed, and I've secured it with some high temp tape. That just keeps it in place while I'm pressing it, and it keeps it from shifting. So this is going to be a two-color design. I've got a single letter monogram, and then I'm going to put a name inside it. Like I said, I'm using flocked heat transfer vinyl. I like the flocked on things like towels because it has a really soft, velvety texture, and it's just, to me, it's better than the plastic or slick feel of regular heat transfer vinyl. So the first thing I'm going to do is put down the first part of the design, the single letter monogram, and do what's called a 2-second tack. I've got the heat press heated up to 320 degrees. This particular flocked vinyl takes 320 degrees to 340 degrees. And I'm going to put the Teflon sheet over it and just press it for 2 seconds. So, 1, 2. And then this is a cold peel. So I've got to let that cool for just a little bit, and you can kind of, but I just want this to stick down enough to kind of tack that in place so I can put my second color on there. It's still kind of warm. I'm going to go ahead and be peeling the heat or the high temp tape off. Still a little warm. I'm going to see if we can get it off. Nope. No. And sometimes 2 seconds, even though we call it a 2-second tag, is not enough, and you have to do it another second or two just till you can get it to stay down. And this isn't ready yet to peel off, so let's give it another 2 seconds. 1, 2. And again, it's really important to let it cool because it is a cold peel. I'm going to try to help it along here. It's really warm. want to be careful when you're pulling the carrier sheet off that you don't pull the terry cloth too much. Okay. Like I say, this is not enough to keep the design in place long term, but it is long enough to hold that first part down, and then we can add the second part. I'm pulling very gently around the loops of the terry cloth because I don't want to get a big pull in the towel. I've done an offset of the name to allow a little space in between the monogram and the name. Here's why I like this pull-out drawer. I can get it out and I can put it in place. And it might be hard to see in the video, but there's a little bit of space in between the purple and the pink because that'll allow my pink to really stand out. And I've already got some high temp tape on there because I want to hold that in place. Now, one thing I've done is cut this carrier sheet really, really close to the design in the areas where the purple is, because if there is any area where the carrier sheet touches the heat transfer vinyl underneath, and this applies to flock or to a regular heat transfer vinyl, it will leave a little crease there, and you don't want that. So I've trimmed that area very, very, very close. Okay, so that looks good. So what we're going to do, you've got a couple of different options here. You could go ahead and do this for the full 10 to 15 seconds. And I think that's what we'll do since I had a little difficulty pulling that first carrier sheet off. But you could also do a 2-second tack with just the pink or the second color. Remove that carrier sheet, then put the Teflon sheet on top and do the 10 seconds that way. But I think we're going to try this with the full 10 seconds on the entire name design, and that way we don't have to let it cool down so long in between the 2-second tack and the final. So the timer on my Craft Pro is set for 10 seconds, and let's press. Take it out. Let that cool. And I can see the fibers of the terry cloth coming through the flock, not in a bad way, but just enough showing me that I've got some good adhesion there. Do have a little bit of overlap there. It's going to leave a little bit of a crease, but I think it's so small we're not going to notice it too much. But I do want this to cool really, really well before I pull that off. It's still a little warm, but we might can pull it off. Let's try it. Let's take the tape off. I love this high temp tape, because there's nothing worse than getting your design in place, going to put it on the heat press, and then it's shifting. I'm gonna take this really slow. It's got some good adhesion. I can see the terry cloth fibers through it. Still want to be kind of gentle with it. It's looking good. adhere into the towel very well. Even there. Like I say, you want to be careful because you got all those loops in the towel. Yeah, that looks really good. I think just for good measure, I'm going to turn it over. Put the Teflon sheet on the back. And give it about, maybe a 5-second press. And that is it. We are done. Thanks for watching.